So really quickly, I'm going to talk about the summer assignments for AP. In order to prepare for next year, we are going to need to do some work over the summer so that you are not so stressed all of next school year. First of all, the thing that you need to be aware of is there is a rubric on here. It's how I'm going to be grading this when we get back to school, and notice that it is due that first week that we are back at school. The 5 things that you're going to need to do for the summer work are listed right here. All of them need to be based on that strong work Venn diagram that we had talked about before. So things like composition, design elements and principles, taking risks with media and experimenting on things, and then also having some sort of communicated idea, or even better yet, a social or cultural commentary on something that's very personal to you. So the first thing that you're going to do is you're going to create 5 pieces on whatever theme that you pick. There are some links below, and I'll talk about that when I get down that far. The second thing is answering the guiding questions. Again, there is a document that is linked to a Google Drive document that you'll have to copy and answer the questions. That's going to actually help you create these pieces. So you should fill that out as well. Number 3 is putting images of your work in the sustained investigation statement document. I know that's a mouthful right there, but it's going to help us get organized, and we're going to be able to see what you've created along the way, and realize that we're only doing 5 of the things that are inside there, and it actually opens up a kind of a Pandora's box in a way, because it lets you see more of what we're going to be doing during the course of the school year. There are sizes, materials, processes, and ideas that you're going to have to list in there, and you're going to actually have to measure the works. If you do this along the way, actually submitting things to the AP site at the end of the year is going to be a lot easier if you do things as I'm telling you to and don't wait until the last minute. Hopefully next year's AP class, there'll be some people that are taking it a second time, and they can reiterate that it's actually easier if you just follow the directions step by step. If you ignore things along the way, that's where things get really difficult. Number 4 is that you're going to take images of the work in process, and there's actually a space in the sustained investigation statement for that. You can put those images in there. Number 5 is save your work. We want them as JPEGs in Google Drive and an SD card. I'll be giving you an SD card at the beginning of next school year, but if you have one, you could actually save things there right now. The other best place to save is in Google Drive. And then there's actually an extra credit option. I didn't list number 6 because it is extra credit, but you could create a piece for WASB. Now I can only send 4 pieces from Nicolet, so those will be adjudicated or juried, and obviously the best images and most completeness will be what is sent. For the AP portfolio, you need to realize it's all about the synthesis of materials, processes, and ideas, and it needs to be skillful synthesis of materials, processes, and ideas. Again, you are going to articulate and elaborate on information and visuals on your work and theme. You actually have to write a statement about that, and that's what I was referring to up here when I talked about that sustained investigation statement document. As I scroll down, there are specific portfolio requirements. So next year you have to submit 15 sustained investigation works. We're going to actually be doing about 20 of them, and then you're going to kind of pick and choose from the best works and the best process images in order to fulfill those 15 images. We are also going to be having 5 selected works that you're going to submit as well. And the reason I put best of the best, sir, with honors, it's sort of like Men in Black. You know, it's like the best, the most flawless, strongest examples of work that you have. And hopefully you can see too, it's 60% of what your score is the sustained investigation, and 40% is the selected works. It's not quite half and half, but it's pretty close. As we continue to scroll down, basically what I want you to realize is you should be bookmarking all of these links in your Chromebook so that next year it's really easy for you to find what you need. There is a more thorough description here in the AP Art and Design course exam description of the sustained investigation and selected works if this doesn't make enough sense to you. Additionally, you can go to the College Board to see how the sustained investigation is evaluated and also how the selected works are evaluated by clicking on these rubrics. I am not going to click on all of this right now because this video would be ridiculously long, so I'm just going to scroll through and explain what's on here. If you have questions, you can email me and I will answer those as soon as I can. The next thing that you need to be aware of is there are visual examples from AP. So these are the sustained investigation with scoring commentaries and selected works and scoring commentaries. One other thing that I needed to mention that I forgot to mention above is that the 3D section actually has two views of each piece. Specifically in the selected works. In sustained investigation, you're just going to show the best image that you have, or possibly put the two views of it in one image or one process image. And again, these are for 3D, here's the 2D examples, and here are the drawing examples. Obviously, you should click on the link of the portfolio that you are completing and you can ignore the others, but I had to list them all there for you. Here are some examples from Nicolet. So these are 3D Nicolet Sustained Investigation statements and images with their scores, as well as 2D and drawing. These are a little bit older. When the portfolio was still assessed from 1 to 5. There's actually a new way that AP is evaluating the works, and that's explained up here in the AP visual examples. As we continue to do this, I will add those to the Nicolet examples, but right now it's the first year that we've done this, and I don't have those examples of scores for you at this point. These are still really good personal examples of thematic work that is really strong, and most of the examples that are in there, I believe, are scores of 4 or 5. That's not just passing, but those are high scores, just so that you're aware. As I continue to scroll down, one of the things that you should also answer are these guiding questions. Especially if you are not quite sure what your theme is going to be. Like, you want to do landscape, but like, what's the landscape about? If you go into these questions, they're very specific and they're going to ask you things that maybe you didn't think about the work before, and it's going to help guide where your work is going to grow and develop. In addition to that, we had talked about resource artists all the way along through the different classes. There's a list of 2D resource artists and 3D resource artists here. There are some contemporaries in there, as well as the more traditional like Van Gogh, Picasso, Monet. Just so that you're aware, it's a very good idea to go in there because you'll actually see more images of strong artwork rather than just going from your head or from the internet. Always having some sort of reference to use is better than ever going from your head. And obviously, if you use the internet, then that's a copyright situation where we might not be able to send your work to contest. And we do want to get you as many accolades as possible while you're in our department, so please follow the directions. In addition, the sustained investigation statement is a document that you're going to have to fill out. So if you click on this, you're actually going to fill out the sizes, materials, processes, and ideas in there, as well as some process images. Again, you should be saving these or making a copy and putting them in your Google Drive. Specifically, you're going to put them in your AP folder once we are actually at school, but it's a good idea to get organized over the summer. That way, again, it makes it a little bit easier for you. And then again, I put the grading rubric for how I grade the statements underneath here. The next thing that you could be doing, and I'm actually going to, this should be on the next page, so I'm just going to click that down for a second. There is an extra credit option of creating work for WASB. It is one of the art contests. It's the first one of the year, generally speaking. There are some size requirements that you have to follow, as well as things like creating a paragraph that's a statement about the work, creating a bio about yourself, and mounting things in a specific manner. And there are more of those requirements for how they want things presented in this link over here on the top. The prompt for this year is, it's often said that every picture is worth 1,000 words. Using any media or combination of media, create an original work of art depicting what it means to take a journey. Everyone is on a journey in their life. Where is yours taking you? Where do you want to go? What is the impact of your journey on others? Let your creativity shine. And again, it's about continuing the journey. As much as it said it's not graphic design, I was told it could be photographs, and I saw some of photographs this last time. So go ahead and create whatever you want. What I'm going to do is I'm going to email the director of this contest and just make sure that digital is still accepted, because that's what I remember her saying in an email to me earlier this year. Hopefully this explains what the summer assignments are. Again, I'm just going to scroll back to the top so that you can see the 5 things that you need for the summer. Again, we're going to collect that in the first week of school. And if you have any questions, please email me and I will answer those as soon as I can. Thank you. Have a good summer.